Thank you all. That's great. Great. Yes, thank you for recognizing the Cardinal Quintet. Quintet, it looks like a quartet to me. Yes, thank you for helping us in this dedication ceremony, and welcome to all of you. Can you hear me over there? Maybe we might. Is that any different? Is that better? Okay, we'll need to talk right into this with the wind. Well, thank you for joining us on this beautiful spring day to dedicate Frog Baby Fountain and to present the fountain to the university. We are sensitive to the fact that we have such a wonderful focal point on our old quadrangle, that is beneficence. And it may be that as students and alumni become familiar with this fountain, that it will become the focal point of this newer North Campus quad. It's particularly important, though, that we remember that we are not just improving the aesthetics of the North Quad with this fountain, but in fact it is a way to honor a person who has spent a great deal of time over many, many years, president of the Ball State University Board of Trustees, a person who really loved the university and who devoted attention and time and energy to it, Alec Bracken. And we're very pleased that the George and Frances Ball Foundation had the idea to create something that would be an honor and recognize Alec Bracken. There are a number of people here, we think, but also some other people think, and he's just given me a letter that was written to his firm announcing that this fountain has received the 1994 Tucker Award of Excellence for the use of natural stone. And this is a national award, and I'm not sure that we're on some register or not, but at least Eric is proud of that, and we're proud of you, Eric, and proud of this fountain. Let me present to you the Board of Trustees members who are with us today. First of all, the President of the Board of Trustees, Jim Parks. Jim, right here. You're going to be hearing more from him shortly, as you will from Frank Bracken, the Vice President. Frank, right here. This fountain today, we're going over to the Student Center for our regular board meeting. Of you know that John Pruce has a good deal of interest in the university, besides serving on the board of the George and Frances Ball Foundation. John.
Thank you, John. Alexander M. Bracken served as a director, as president, and as chairman of the George and Frances Ball Foundation for 43 years. He also served Ball State University and its Board of Trustees for 26 years, 22 of them as president of the board. In both of these capacities, he served with distinction. Following his death, the George and Frances Ball Foundation sought to provide a fitting tribute to this remarkable man who had given so much for so many years to both the university and the foundation. Alec loved nature. He loved Ball State University and its campus. He took great pleasure in seeing students enjoying the beauties of the campus. He would be an enthusiastic supporter of the current campus development plan. In discussing with President Worthen the interest of the foundation in providing a memorial to Mr. Bracken, something outdoors, something near Bracken Library, itself a well-deserved recognition and tribute by the university to Mr. Bracken, a project which would be the first step in the long-range plan for the development of this area seemed most appropriate. Early in the design process, utilization of Frog Baby was proposed. Those of us on the foundation board were immediately attracted to this suggestion. Frog Baby has long been a part of the student experience at Ball State, and the fact that this charming statue was purchased by Alec's father-in-law, Mr. Frank C. Ball, and grandfather of our board's president, Frank A. Bracken, added to the appropriateness of using this particular sculpture. We are most pleased to be a part of these dedication ceremonies today, and we are especially pleased that Mrs. Rosemary Bracken, loving wife of Alec for nearly 59 years and a director emeritus of the foundation, is also with us. This event brings into focus once again the nature of the man we seek to honor. Devoted husband, father, and grandfather, a gentle man, fair, educated, truly a whole man, lover of books and of nature, appreciator of excellence, possessor of a delightful sense of humor, respecter of people, especially young people, in whom he had profound faith and for whom he felt a keen sense of responsibility. Builder, servant of mankind, friend and valued associate, one who is missed greatly. To know him was to respect him, to admire him, and to love him. The foundation is grateful to be a part of this special recognition of a man who made unsurpassed contributions to both the university and the foundation. May succeeding generations learn just a bit of what we know and what we feel.
Thank you very much, John. I'd like now to call the president of the George and Francis Ball Foundation and the vice president of the Ball State University Board of Trustees, Frank Bracken.
Thank you, John, and thank you, John Bruce, for those wonderful remarks. You know, it's sort of hard to know what to say in an occasion like this. I think back and I know that, you know, during my previous life with the Interior Department, would speak on various events. I spoke before the Grand Canyon at the 75th anniversary of the National Park Service and the 100th anniversary of Yosemite. I spoke with El Capitan in my background and the Merced River and Half Dome ahead of me. But I don't think anything is more meaningful to me, and I'm sure more meaningful to my mother and my sister and all of you who are here, than this recognition of my father from the 75th anniversary of Ball State University. Dad loved Ball State. He loved the George and Francis Foundation. He also loved the Merchants National Bank, Steve. Those were the three things I think that meant more to him other than his family in his lifetime. He took pride in the university, the growth of the university. He took pride in John Pruce's presidency, John Worthen's presidency, and certainly the Merchants National under Bill Givens and Steve Anderson, and the foundation under himself, actually, and then when I succeeded him. And I think Frog Baby is the appropriate memorial. Dad loved the students, and I think Frog Baby is something that the students can relate to. They used to touch it for good luck in exams, and I've seen from some of the things they've done since it's been here, their affection for Frog Baby, dressing it up in the wintertime with a stocking cap and a scarf to keep it out of the inclement weather. And I think that really is important, I think, for the students to be able to relate to this memorial. And I think the design and all the little fellas in the back here, the little frogs, are really exciting. And I think it's an uplifting statue. There's nothing that is going to come of harm to the frogs. There's no question about that. It's an uplifting statue, and my dad was always uplifting and trying to see everything in a positive sort of way, and I think this statue commemorates that and commemorates his spirit, commemorates his life, and commemorates all of the things that he found very important and that he strove to achieve while he was with us. So I certainly thank the George and Francis Foundation for making this available, for recognizing Alec Bracken in this way, for making this permanent statue, for the design, for having Frog Baby here, for all of the students to enjoy and all of us to remember Alec Bracken. Thank you all very much for being here, and thank you for making this ceremony possible.
Thank you, Frank. I'd like now to call the president of the Ball State University Board of Trustees, Jim Parks.
This university owes so much to your father, Frank, and to all the members of the Ball family. His contributions to Ball State and the Muncie community are so numerous that to mention even a few would leave out far too many. So let me just say that Alexander Bracken has left a lasting legacy at Ball State University, and one which his son Frank Bracken continues today. As president of the Board of Trustees, it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to accept and dedicate this wonderful sculpture and fountain on behalf of the Ball State University students, faculty, alumni, and friends. It is fitting that the Frog Baby Fountain be dedicated in memory of Alexander M. Bracken. It stands tribute to the many past generations of Ball State students who have appreciated Frog Baby, and its legacy will continue into the future. Frog Baby has found an appropriate home here in the center of the North Campus, adjacent to the Bracken Library, which was dedicated in 1974 in honor of Alexander M. Bracken. The bronze once stood at the foot of the stairs of the Ball State University Museum of Art, where hundreds of students, including my wife and myself, rubbed its nose to bring good luck before tests and examinations. I have to digress here a little bit. I was going over a statement I'm making at the board meeting, and these notes on the way up this afternoon or this morning, and Joyce, my wife, I said, it says its nose. I'm going to say his nose. She said, oh, hon, I don't think you should do that. I said, why not? She said, well, I don't know. Well, when we went to the luncheon, I commissioned two members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. DeWeese, Mr. Hughes, and they reported to me, and I should say, her nose to bring good luck before tests and examinations. It is fitting that this delightful fountain, and I know that Mr. Bracken would appreciate that, knowing his sense of humor. It is fitting that this delightful fountain with its joyful presence will constantly remind us of the generous spirit and tremendous growth and renewal Ball State University has achieved through the years, thanks to the generosity of its benefactors like Alexander M. Bracken. As we close this ceremony today, I'd like to thank the Cardinal Brass Quartet for being a part of this special day, and thank all of you who have joined us for this special dedication ceremony. It is my privilege to officially welcome Frog Baby back to its home on Ball State University campus. Thank you for everyone who's had anything to do with this program.
You've been in office, what, 2 days?
Yes, exactly. 2 days.
Yeah, well, that sounds good.
So,
No.
we'll definitely.
We got some big plans.
We're excited. Good stuff. There we go. Hold on, I want a black line on this one too. There we go. Good smile. Very good. There we go. Good smile. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. A good smile. Hold on, they didn't probably like the black and white. Okay, I think these guys want one in there too. There we go. They stay right there. Let me get another one. Just look up here for this one. Oh, God. Here we go. That's really nice. Oh, these are beautiful. You'll be done with it. No.